Alright, you've made it through the obligatory introduction video, but since this is the first in a series of robust van life information videos, there's a bit of ground rules and a precursor, who is this series for set of information. You can watch whatever you want in whatever order you want, but if you're not opposed, I'll start off with the ground rules. Part of YouTube's recommendation algorithm relies on likes. When you like a video, it helps more users see it, and it incentivizes your favorite content creators to produce quality content. So rule number one, if you learned something from this video or wished you had me spend more time on research, hit the like button. Have you ever seen a video where the comments section was better than the actual video? The best comments are the ones that provide helpful information. Imagine you watch a video on some really cool solar-powered gadget that you can't live without. And while waiting for payday, you scroll through the YouTube comments to find an even better solar-powered gadget. No single YouTuber knows everything, so rule number two, if you disagree with anything in the video, leave a comment. Open discussion is one of the best ways to learn new things. This is a huge project. There's a significant amount of strategy and information coming to this channel and a ton of fun along the way. Remember your favorite TV series, how it got better and better each season, except for the final season of Game of Thrones. More viewers increases the capability of producing quality content. So rule number three, if you want more quality content, subscribe and hit the notification bell. There's countless videos and resources available for van life, and I'm sure we'll get into the details and diagrams at some point, but so that we can cover as much ground as possible in a short amount of time and get you out of the intrigue stage and into the planning stage, this series is going to start high level. A 30,000 foot view of getting into a full-time van or RV life. Looking into van and RV life for almost a decade now, off and on watching videos on YouTube and things like that. And more recently, you can see I even started this document on August 5th, 2019. I put together what I called my vision statement. And I sat down and I wrote out, kind of free form, just started writing out all of the specific things that I would be looking for in a vehicle. So this is even back before I really knew, if I wanted to get a Class A, B, C, all that kind of stuff, whatever. We don't have to get into details for that. But what is important for me if I'm going to give up, my home or, apartment, whatever, that kind of life, and live in a vehicle, right? What kind of amenities, what kind of comfort do I need? What are going to be the things that are important? And this kind of just flew out on the page as a result of all of the videos and things that I've watched over blogs, reading, things like that, and just started writing. A few of these things came out of order, and there were all considerations, and I started putting them into different categories, and then I ended up just kind of pushing them to the side and said, let's stop and think. What are the two most important things? What am I going to use? What is my life going to look like if I'm living in a van? And what are the most important things that as I go through all this new discovery and learn different things through research that are just not going to change? They're kind of like a bedrock philosophy for choosing the right van. So I ended up writing the usage statement, and you can write whatever you want. Think about whatever is going to work for you. But I put that I would like to travel to several parts of the U.S., typically relocating once every 2 to 3 months. I'm not the sleep a different place every night kind of person. I don't know if I want to visit a bunch of RV parks or things like that. Maybe at the beginning I might enjoy that a little bit more, but this is kind of what I think I'll settle into. I want to follow good weather. I thought about I'd like to stay in Florida in the winter months, go up to places like Colorado in the summertime, and maybe do some skiing, things like that, and just visit family, friends, and just kind of experience things all over the world, or all over the States. I mean, I'd love to do the world too, but I don't know, maybe one day I'll ship my van overseas and big goals there. But after the usage statement, that really started to think about certain things. If I'm relocating every 2 to 3 months, I may not necessarily need the best gas mileage. I might could sacrifice some of that. So a lot of the specifics about what was going to be right for me started to follow from my main usage statement, and these were my firm internal discovery thoughts. A van for me is just too small. I need a little bit more space. I need a little bit of, if I'm going to have friends or I've got kids. If my kids are going to be with me for a while, they need to have their own separate area when it comes time to sleep and that kind of thing. And I just need a little bit more space. So van is too small. And then also you'll notice that there's check boxes next to these. This allows me, as I'm kind of moving through it. I did end up getting a vehicle, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. That'll be exciting. But the van being too small, I'm able to check that box because I ended up getting something a little bit larger than just a van. It's a Class B. But other things that I wanted to consider is that size introduces cost to insulate, cost to run electricity, cost of gas mileage, cost of upkeep, maintenance, larger tires, etc. All of these type of things. The larger you go, it typically introduces cost. So I wanted to, find a middle ground and kind of think about that. And then I came to the conclusion, for me personally, that slides was an option. You've got these vehicles where they can expand. And when you're driving down the road, you've got a compact vehicle, but then when you park, you got 2-3 slides that come out. You get all this real estate. For me, in my current situation, slides, they cause more problems for kind of building from scratch for me. If they break, there's a lot of stuff that you have to fix. They're a little bit more difficult to try to insulate. I'm going to be all weather and traveling. You need to be thinking about some of those things as far as upkeep cost and and what it costs to really get that comfortable living year round. Challenges. I thought about the idea of if still this was prior, but slides. Maybe I could build slides into something from scratch or custom make them. Watch some YouTube videos. Not gonna happen. Yeah, there's people out there that can do it. They're awesome. It can be done, but it is way too much work, too much thought to go into something like that to get something to work. Maybe one day, but it's that's these engineers spend like, I don't know, decades trying to perfect this stuff and make it better and better. And am I going to come out and watch a couple YouTube videos and make a great slide? Probably not. It just seems like a fun thing or a quirky thing, but I'm not sure I can get the value out of it. These were just more considerations. Maybe a good shell with something that has slides already, because I really like the slides. But trying to find a shell, like maybe something that had a roof that get destroyed and the whole interior was busted on it, but it still had the mechanical parts of the slide, that might have been beneficial. But that's really rare to try to come across something like that, and still it hits my firm discovery thought. So I'm able to kind of just get that out of sight, out of mind. Even though a lot of things I think about them and I'm like, man, that'd be really cool, and I would love to do that. And then I start thinking, well, I could do that, or how can I do that? So I go back to my usage statement and my firm discovery that I say, no, Jonathan, stop looking at stuff with slides. Move forward. Let's see. Other stuff to think about: isolated spaces for heating and cooling. This is actually something that has been built into my design, and it's best shown with a picture. So I'll pull that up on the screen here. So this is the design. I'm not going to go over everything here real quick, but in this particular design, I've got a queen bed here in the back. This is a 3-inch insulated wall. There's an additional 3-inch insulated wall here, so I kind of separate these two areas off. And doing this, if I were to isolate this back area off and just stay in the front, I can reduce the area that I need to heat or cool. So if there's I don't have enough energy available, uh, I can work with a smaller space this way, temporarily. So I like the idea of, or even at night, if you want to close off one area and then just heat or cool the other area, one half will get a little cooler, but you can save on your electricity costs that way, or electricity expenditures from your battery bank. Another thing that I came up with is you don't really need two sinks, or some three sinks, whatever. Some people have a kitchen sink they put in. Some people, and they have a bathroom sink. I guess that's only two sinks. Two sinks. You can you can wash your dishes and wash your hands in the same sink. So in my usage, I've combined that. I just have one. I don't have a separate sink for the kitchen and then one for the bathroom. Uh, I took that a step further, and I did have the ability to use wastewater from the sink in the toilet as well. But I won't be using that as much because I've got a cassette toilet. That's get another thing for another day.